Good morning, fools. Welcome to the All Jammed Up podcast presented to you by Music Never Stopped. I'm your host, Clint.
I'm your co-host, Chloe, and 3 strikes and Goose is out.
Well, we're all jammed up and we're ready to blast. It's time for Clint Chloe's Music Podcast.
As I'm wearing my Goose shirt.
Goose merch.
We saw Goose on Friday, so we have a great episode for you today. 2 interviews, Cloutchaser and Brando, CEO from CashorTrade, to break down the whole Ticketmaster partnership that they're doing. Mm-hmm. But we had a big weekend too. Friday was my 30th birthday. Saturday we went and saw Billy Strings. Friday we saw Goose. And before everyone comes at us, like, you guys seem like Billy Strings people. Why did you see Goose? Chloe, being the great girlfriend she is, got me Goose tickets when they came out for my birthday. And then like a week later, Billy Strings announced his tour.
So we, after Hulaween this last year, we were super impressed with Goose. We were like, okay, we're back on the Goose train. We went from Goose bad to Goose okay, and we were kind of like, all
optimistic.
Right, Goose is coming to town. Let's let them get us over into Goose good territory.
Because I thought too, like, I've only seen Goose at festivals.
Yeah.
So I was like, a Goose show, a Goose tour opener.
Yeah.
Will be. And the show wasn't bad.
The show wasn't bad. I think
first set was good.
First set ripped, and we did finally get a So Ready, not a slow.
Yeah.
Ready. So that was nice, and I did really enjoy that So Ready. There was a super sick jam after it.
The Rockdale was good. There was
opening with media was fire.
Yeah.
I like Dustin Hoffman. So like, we are actively giving Goose many chances. They have the, but I think, and I was kind of thinking through this during the show. My problem is they lose me in their jams, which, as a jam band,
when they're doing 25-minute jams, like, they gotta go somewhere.
And like, if your jams are doing this, and you build, and then you come back down, and then you build, and then you come back down, and then you lead me into something that's also slow.
Yeah.
There's no like crescendo. It feels like this is all personal. It's nothing. I think the band are all incredible musicians. I think
Cotter was the first set, like, just coming out with that media.
Yeah.
And like, I kind of locked in on him a few times. Rick's guitar playing is obviously phenomenal.
Yeah.
But I just feel sometimes it's just like they just like give you a way to get out of the music.
Yes.
Like, you know, it's already hard to like stay locked in for a whole set or a whole show. It's especially a big show where there's people talking. Chompers were terrible.
Holy shit. Oh, it was annoying as hell. And like, I kept trying to be like, they're having fun. Like, let them have their fun.
It was like funny.
It
like,
was laughable.
Yeah.
It wasn't really funny. It was laughable.
Yeah.
But, and like, you can never, Goose is not a bad band.
No.
Goose is not bad. And they're such incredible
Now,
musicians.
Friday, was I there? Maybe looking on Reddit at the Billy Strings set list to see what we were missing.
Can you put it away? We're not there. Like, we're at the Goose show. This is what our plan is.
Yeah.
But, you know, Clint's seen them 4 times now. 1 good show out of
2.
4.
The first time I saw them, they were really, really good.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's just like, when you're a band of like that caliber, I shouldn't be like given so many opportunities to get out of the music.
Yeah.
Like, I want to stay like in it the whole time. And to counterpoint that, like, at Billy's show on Saturday, it was kind of a slower first set. And, you know, he had St. Augie, that show in Tampa. Friday at Savannah was a ripper. So, like, I kind of went into it with, like, this will probably be a slower set, which is fine. Like, I think that's another thing, too, is, like, we know every Billy Strings song he's going to play pretty much. Goose, I don't know every song. So, when you can sing along, it's easier to stay in it. But the first set was kind of slow, and I was like, you know, maybe I was being critical of Goose. Like, it's just, some shows just kind of ebb and flow. And then the second set came.
Yeah, and he ripped this.
And I was like, that's why Billy Strings is the king. Like,
yeah. Back to like what I was saying though, I can't get into their jams, and as the kings of the jam band at the moment, like, that's a pretty big thing. And I think this is my personal problem where, like, I like their hits. I really like Dustin Hoffman. I like So Ready. I like Wisteria Lane. I like
Arcadia,
I
yeah.
like Arcadia. I love their music when it is upbeat, fast, and I'm singing along. That is when I have fun at Goose. Once they start jamming, I'm immediately lost, and that's when I'm like, I can get Billy jams, I'm in. Dogs in the Pile jams, I'm in. Daniel Donato jams, I am in. There's something about the Goose jams that like always seem to lose me.
And like the reception online of that show, like I follow a couple Goose accounts and they're like, that's how you start a tour. And I was just like, again, maybe it's like Goose isn't my like my number one thing, you know, but like they all these reactions, I was just like, really, guys? Like,
I will also say, didn't they have a show in Athens like 2 weeks ago or something?
we listened to it,
We listened through that show. I knew a good majority of those songs. We listened to it on the car ride home from Atlanta, and I thought it was a fucking killer show. I think if I had been at that Athens show, I would be all in on Goose again.
Yeah.
I'd be like, fuck, I'm a Goose head. Squawk me up.
I think too, the crowd was unique.
We were up pretty close to the front first set, and yeah, we were just behind this very excitable group of people. And
They're like bumping in, like pushing me back so they can like take a selfie with a
she
DMT
turned
3D
around
printed
and
molecule.
looked at Clint and then backed up against him and like leaned back further. I'm like, girl,
And I was just like,
get up in your space. But
then we went to Sons of Stars afterwards though.
Sons of Stars always rips, you know it. And then after set break at Sons of Stars, we went and saw Auspicious Golden Fish, which go back and listen to the Jamie Hendrickson podcast because
That guy is a mad scientist. He's up there with his keys. He has headphones on. I want to know like what he's listening, because he's like on Ableton, like making like, I don't know if he's making loops or like what he was doing while playing, and like he's just locked the fuck in. And in our conversation, he was talking about like how much of this project is just improv, and like you see them on stage and like
they're all kind of like following his, like you can see
yeah,
them watching
like what's
for,
he
like,
gonna do
his
next?
move,
Yeah.
so they can all kind of like play along. And it was very impressive. I've never seen something like that. And we weren't there too long.
Yeah, it was getting late.
Late in the night. I was a sleepy gal.
We had a big day.
But
Saturday.
Absolutely, they are. If you're in Asheville and they're around, go and figure out how to see them, because.
One more thing about Goose though, the light show was really good.
Yeah.
Really good light show. So I mean, I think it sounds like we're
not dogging on Goose.
No.
It's just not our cup of hot tea.
And nice. We've been seeing so much Billy Strings these past couple months too, that like that's our thing, you know? And then like especially like in Harrah's where we just saw Billy 4 nights in a row, both said sold out shows. One was definitely more sold out than the other.
Sold out than the other, absolutely. Like, I don't know how Billy managed to make that place look 4 stories tall and like 300 yards long. Like, he made that place feel so
much
different.
bigger, yeah.
But still, props to the Goose guys. You guys are incredible. Not our cup of tea, but that's okay, because there's a reason why you guys are kings of the jam.
Also, kind of mega church vibes sometimes. A lot of middle-aged men, just like
middle-aged men, and then like their sons and like lots of hands up with the bright lights going on. Yeah, I agree. It was a lot like brighter of a show than.
Yeah, and I think that too is like I like the darkness. Like I like to when like I like jams to like invoke an emotion.
Yeah.
You know, and like Billy can do that with like fear, or like for me sometimes it can be excitement because I know what's coming at the end. And like sometimes in Goose I just was kind of like, all right, let's get to the next song. Which
I feel like there was one point where I felt like they played the same part of a jam.
They did. Yeah, they did.
And then finally I could like feel that they were about to get out of it, get back into the song. They fucking brought it right down here, and I was like, guys, you just wound me up for like 40 minutes. But it was still a great birthday. We
Yeah.
had an awesome time.
Yeah.
It was a really fun night. I am glad we went. Like
Same.
It's nice to see things that aren't Billy every once in a
Yeah,
while.
and it was like, when we were at Billy Strings, like we know a lot of people there. It's like
kind of like a social gathering.
whereas Billy was like, it was my birthday, and like it was nice for you and I to just do something together.
Yeah, I agree. And then, so onto this Billy Savannah show. We didn't know Savannah was 5 hours away. I was expecting like 3 hours.
Yeah, me too.
But it was like a whole lot of nothing on the way there.
Terrible drive.
The getting on lot was amazing. Seeing everyone was so fun. We camped out on lot. The show was awesome. We started up in our seats, which we were like, we used to kind of be the seat people, and then we kind of started figuring out how to get into the pit. But we were like, let's just sit back, let's watch the lights, let's see it from a higher angle. By song 3, we were like, you want
It was like Dust in a Baggie opener, which not my thing really either.
Agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm kind of out on Dust in a Baggie.
I like it a short Dust in a Baggie, like a quick 2-minute one, like in between something. But to open it, I'm kind of just like, And then Love and Regret, and then Escanaba, and then I can't remember what the 4th song was, but it was something that I wanted to dance to.
Yeah.
And we were just like, should we just go? We were like, we're gonna go at set break, and then that song came on. We were like, let's just go now.
Yeah, and we had like been watching our friends.
Yeah, we'd be like, oh, there's Gigi and
We're
Aiden.
like kind of seeing where people are, and we're like, I do want to kind of just go down
Yeah.
and dance with our friends. So we did end up getting down there. Took us a little scheming, but we made it in. It was an awesome night.
Lot was awesome.
The lot was sick. Holy shit, the lot was sick. That is, if Savannah stays that way, that is a no miss venue, I think.
Yeah.
The lot was like 3, 4, maybe even 5 rows deep. I will say the Nitrous Mafia were running that
And the
place.
cops didn't give a fuck
Cops
either.
just said, don't go over the bridge. Don't come onto the like actual.
We saw one, like we were like walking by the Nitrous guy, and the cops walking over, and we're like, oh, here he goes. And the cops just like, can you just go over there?
Yeah, he's like, can you just like step into the road a bit? Guy moves his tank maybe 20 feet, good to go.
Yeah.
Back in business.
Selling the biggest balloons of all time. I'd never seen balloons that big.
Crazy. But honestly, the energy there was amazing. Ended the night with a fireworks show right in front of our car. Everyone was out there fire dancing. Like, it was a real scene. It was a treat. Yeah, it was awesome. It was so nice to be there, and I'm so fucking excited for Greensboro.
Yeah, we got Greensboro tomorrow as you're listening to this, so come find us there.
We'll bring extra stickers.
Yeah, handed them all out last night, and a few people that were stoked. Some dude was like, can I give you a hug? I'm like, of course you can give me a hug, man. But the rest of the episode, great. Cloutchaser, if you remember, Ethan Heller from the Snozberries told us about them for the Psychedelic Circus back in like September, October. And we saw them and have been trying to link up with those guys for months now. Finally got it. Great interview.
They are the nicest guys. They are so knowledgeable in music in general, honestly. They know a lot about a lot of genres, but in their like niche kind of artistic style of music they do, they are so tapped in and knowledgeable about it. It was such a fun conversation. And
then we have Brando from CashorTrade. He's the CEO. It's probably been, you've probably seen on social media, their partnership with, not acquisition. I say acquisition in the interview, and he didn't like that.
No.
It's not an acquisition. It's a partnership that they're doing, and he's just clearing up the air on it. And from my point of view, honestly, I think it's PR management from Ticketmaster. I think it's a good opportunity to partner with a good brand that has a good reputation. And then it's a great opportunity for CashorTrade. Brando explains it. It makes sense why they would do it. It's something more simple other than like a double check on face value tickets. And that's the whole thing with CashorTrade is face value, getting face value tickets. So 2 great interviews. And then on the back, we have a bunch of stuff we want to cover too. Some new music that came out, Hulaween lineup that came out, and Songs of the Week. I think we might have forgot that last week.
I did.
But
I did.
Yeah, so we'll have 2 new songs of the week, and then that's it.
Yeah, and then we'll blow you kisses.
Alrighty. we're going to go ahead and start out with Cloutchaser.
Honey, you're listening to some all jammed up.
Alrighty, guys, we are here today with Brady and Cameron from Cloutchaser. How's it going, guys?
Going good. What's up?
We're good.
Howdy.
Where'd you guys play yesterday?
We played in Warner Robins, Georgia yesterday, which is
Okay.
like 30 minutes south of Macon. It's basically like right in the center of Georgia, a small town that
Okay.
we had never really even heard of.
I
until
didn't
we
know
came.
it existed.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
And where are you guys from?
From I live in Durham. He lives in Chapel Hill.
Well, that's pretty close, right?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a triangle of North Carolina. But we both grew up, I grew up 30 minutes north of Charlotte in a town called Union Grove. Pretty
Okay.
small town, like a banjo community, one stoplight type shit, you know.
And you guys have known each other for a while?
We met in college.
Okay.
Like 2017 is whenever we met.
Mhm.
And yeah, we started playing music in a death metal band. And that's kind of how we started and got to know each other, writing music and stuff. And then around COVID, Cloutchaser started.
Yeah, so I want to get into all that, like getting the band, everything together. But for the people that don't know who you guys are, you're a math rock band, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
what exactly? It's just like unique time signatures.
Yeah, so math rock, there's kind of there's a few things associated with the style of math rock, right? And it's like complex time signatures, like dense
So can you-
compositional arrangements, a lot of like open tunings on the
Yeah.
guitar, so that like when you just strum, it's like a chord already. You don't have to hold down notes to make
Okay.
it sound good. So you can kind of, it's like a cheat code. You can do some like widdly 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 stuff on it, and it just all sounds good.
Patterns on the
you know?
strings. You can use the same patterns through all the shapes, and it works good.
And there's been like different waves of math rock. Like originally math rock derived from like punk rock. Like bands like Black Flag would make these like weird kind of dissonant, quirky songs in like the late 80s, and then you had bands like Don Caballero, Lightning Bolt, Terra Millos, Bastro, there's Hella. There's so many bands that like if you know you know, and if you don't you're like, what are you talking about? You know.
Yeah, I think Bad Brains is the only one I know.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Or Black Flag, is
Black
who you
Flag.
say.
Black Flag,
Black
yeah.
Flag.
They're kind of early proto math rock, like with some of their songs.
Now, would like a band like American Football, is that considered
Like
math?
American football is technically Midwest emo.
Okay,
We
'cause that-
call it Midwest emo, but American football has a really dope like contribution to math rock with the tunings. Like
Okay.
the tuning, FAC, GCE specifically is like the math rock guitar tuning for a shit ton of bands. And like we've
used it a few
we've
times,
used it a couple
yeah.
times, and like it's pretty rad. But American football made these tunings.
So
Kind of a huge deal.
before we got recording, you kind of asked like what scene I'm in, and now like bluegrass jam band is kind of like the whole essence of the podcast. But I like all music. Like when I got really into music, like towards the end of high school, early college, I was listening to like the Front Bottoms, Foxing, Modern Baseball. So like you said, like
Yeah.
I think of American football in that like Midwest emo thing.
And I was in a Midwest emo band.
Okay.
Strong. I played bass and stuff. But yeah, we did American football cover set.
Uh-huh.
And that kind of thing. And I'm very familiar with that.
Yeah.
Stuff. And there are overlaps.
Yeah.
In terms of just like the prettiness and the, I guess, flashiness.
The textures and the palette of it, but maybe not necessarily the compositions. Like
Okay.
the sound, the flavor of American football is very much overlaps with math rock. The compositions themselves are a little more straightforward than people would consider like math rock. Like you may notice that our branding, we call ourselves real math rock,
Yeah.
right? It's kind of a joke because like, oh, it's real math, like gatekeeping this tiny niche genre that
Yeah.
1 in 1,000 people even know about. It's kind of like funny and pathetic to, and like we've just proclaimed the throne of this internet genre that like there's not even a real life scene for math rock. It just kind of happens and then it's over.
So
And
the
it's like-
bands that you guys are on tour with, are they math rock too? Are they kind of like in like it's like the hardcore? Like what's that?
Math rock is like a really umbrella term.
Okay.
And like they do fall under that term, but maybe more so in the like Black Flag, noisy side of things, like more so on the punk rock side of math rock, whereas we aren't. We might be a little bit separate from the punk.
Maybe more recent. I mean, I might disagree with what you're saying, actually. Maybe, but that's what he.
I guess, yeah. I'm more so talking about like the guitar tone, like our new album. Like I mostly play like a clean guitar tone, and the other band CPS, it's kind of more distorted.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like different flavors of math rock. There's kind of like a dirty and then a cleaner.
Okay.
And they're kind of on the dirtier side. That's what
yeah. I mean, CPS, the band that we're on tour with right now, they don't necessarily claim math rock as their genre. They claim more like prog metal, I would say. And like, prog and math rock kind of sound like the same definition. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, really dense compositions, virtuosic playing, really dense composition, virtuosic. It's like, but prog will have like 11-minute songs, whereas a lot of math rock is like a 2-minute song where nothing repeats or something. You know what I mean? Where a prog is like more like classical music, like longer compositions. If that makes sense.
Can you break down the like time signature part of it? So like typical is like 1, 2, 3,
yeah,
4,
most music
right?
you hear 1, 2, 3, 4. You can kind of snap along to it. You can bob your head.
You got 6, either 4 or 6.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You usually even numbers you hear a lot, but like with like math rock, you might hear different time signatures. Like you might hear 11 eighth notes instead of 8.
And when you're like on stage, how are you counting that like in your head? Like,
There's no like singing it in your head. You're not really
okay.
Yeah, it's like okay, the best way I can make people understand this is like it's a language, right? Like I just said a lot of words and I didn't think about how they were all spelled or when my tongue hit my teeth to make the T sound. I'm just talking, right?
Yeah.
So it's like there's nuts and bolts. We learn phonics. We learn like language, but then we just let it rip and communicate, right? And we just have we're very like introverted, like in the shed, like coming up with our own like style type people. And Cloutchaser is very much a combination of each of our language that isn't as like straightforward as English or something. It's a little more abstract, but we're communicating downbeats and tension and release and speeding up, slowing down, all these ideas that aren't words necessarily. They aren't like, here, feel this. This is a love song. Or it's like textures and experience, but
in being a two-piece, you can communicate.
Yeah.
it's a straightforward conversation.
Now, are there lyrics ever in your guys' songs? I know the night we saw you. So it would be pretty hard to have lyrics with that time signature if you're like singing it in your head, right?
Yeah.
You could.
Bands do it.
Yeah, there's this band Hella, and someone re-recorded their first instrumental album all with vocals and like wrote their own like vocal parts. And it's nuts.
And there are a lot of great math rock bands that have vocals, like Taramellos I mentioned earlier. Great friends of ours in this band, Invalids. They're just phenomenal geniuses. I don't know how Pete specifically, the songwriter, like you should definitely look up Invalids later. We went to Japan with Invalids 2 years ago. Actually, like we've toured with these guys.
How was the reception of your guys' music in Japan?
It felt like we were breaking the law. we were gonna get sent to jail. It
really makes you realize, like, wow, dude, we're a bunch of feral American white boys, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and we're like, Japan is so respectful and like, just there's a lot. They listen like quietly and like pay attention to you, and there's just such respect, and I feel like our music is so disrespectful and just
tearing
like
apart all the
destructive.
rules.
It felt like
I think
crazy though.
If you've never seen anything like it, you're just like, what the fuck is going on? Because that was kind of like Ethan from the Snozberries. He was telling us all about, and he's like, you got to come to Psychedelic Circus. And I was like, tell me about some of these bands. And he was like, well, Cloutchaser is going to scare everyone. So like, I had no idea. Like, I thought it was going to be like a death metal thing or something going into it. And then you guys played, and I was like, that's incredible. Like what I just saw. Like,
thank you.
Since then, I was like, we have to interview those guys because I need to know like what's happening.
Yeah, sorry it took us so long to coordinate. I'm really glad
it worked out in person rather than virtual.
I was like, dude, we're playing in Asheville. Let's hit them up.
Yeah. So the two of you met in a death metal band. Is that kind of like when you got into playing music? Is that like metal was kind of what you guys always.
Both of us come from a metal background.
Okay.
Thrash metal, hair metal, death metal, that kind of
Yeah.
So what was the path to math rock? Like, was there somebody you saw, somebody you heard that you were like, I want to fuck around with that?
Yeah, there's kind of a direct path. I mean, when I was in high school, I was always into obscure, extreme music that would scare everybody. I'm like, why is it scary? Why am I uncomfortable hearing that? I wanted to. It made me feel new feelings to like hear certain things. Like this composer John Zorn, this music called. He has a band called Naked City, which is just the most assaulting. Like music, it just feels like a crime to hear it. Like I don't even know how to explain. I saw this movie. I saw a movie called Funny Games when I was like 11, and there was a scene in it where the killer like turns on all the lights in the house, and he puts on a Naked City record, and he's like walking through with a shotgun, and this music just scared the shit. It traumatized me so much. And then when I was in high school, I was like, dude, what was that music that like traumatized me? I was like, maybe I'm like ready for it now. And I went back, and then I fell in love with these crazy compositions, and that's more like in the like jazz grind.
flash genres, very much so, like flash and TV.
John Zorn, his composition style, he likes to think of it as like switching radio stations, like, oh, we're blues, all right, we're polka, all right, it's punk rock, all right, surf rock, it's country western. It's like it just changes, and you're like, you're just being assaulted.
What's his name?
John Zorn, and Naked City is the band. They're insane, and that was really my first dip into this sort of thing. But like I said, that'd be classified as like jazz grind, I guess, but very dense, random sounding compositions almost that, kind of piqued my interest in those sorts of things. And then I got into bands like Dillinger Escape Plan, Meshuggah, Terramellos, all these bands I mentioned before, hella in college. And then Cameron and I were in a metal band called Basilica, which two of the members live here in Nashville. They're good friends of ours. One's coming to the show tonight. Maybe both. Who knows? But and so we were playing together, and I had actually written one song which ended up being the first Cloutchaser song. I play guitar too, right?
Okay.
And this is during COVID. I just recorded one demo of like a song that I had written. It was our song Race Car Bed. It was a very simplistic
kind of some chords.
version of it. Because Cameron's better at guitar than me. Like, I'm like, here, do this. Ching, ching, ching. And he's like, I'm like, okay, I don't want to do that, actually.
Do what you're doing.
Do your thing, because I don't even know what that is.
We'll go with that.
You do that.
We'll go.
So Cameron's such a monster on the guitar. He takes my simple ideas and like reshapes them, and I showed him this one song, and then we ended up jamming, and then it turned into a whole album, and then, it became more popular than we ever actually thought it would after that. Like, not that we're like famous or anything, but we can play in Rochester, and people are like screaming our names and stuff. Like, we can go to Tallahassee, we can go to these random towns. Like, people know who we are, and it's it sounds so arrogant. Like, oh, people know,
but it's awesome.
But
going around and doing it is the best shit ever.
To dream of like your art being received in the way that you want it to be received, and the things you want to be told back about what you're doing, and then to hear it from time and time again, like the impact that we seem to have made that brought us here is like exactly what we set out to do. And like, I love that we're doing it to you guys, because normally we do it to people, like you asked earlier, like, do you guys always play short sets? It's like, our set's actually long for our scene. Like, most people play like 20 minutes. There's 5 bands.
Yeah. See, that's one song in our scene.
Exactly. That's why it's so beautiful that like our worlds are colliding. Because I'm a big fan of all music. I like funk. I like jazz. All of us.
It's like good and bad. There's good music and bad music.
Yeah.
There's a thing that her and I have talked about quite a bit. Is like, doing the podcast, we're at so many jam band shows and bluegrass shows, which like you can get like so much. It's like, all right, when you stumble across a Cloutchaser show, it's like something you've never heard compared to what we hear all the time. It's like, what the fuck was that? So I totally get what you're saying in that vein.
Yeah, honestly, I actually prefer a clean slate to someone who's like, ooh, I love math rock. I know everything about it. I'm like, that takes away some of the
Yeah.
steam.
Then they
You
go
guys-
in
yeah.
thinking something.
You don't
and
have
it's
like a lens that you're viewing it from. You're just humans watching other humans do something, and
Other
it's
than
like,
that, we might get scared.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I saw that it was
That's awesome.
it was kind of marketed that way. It's like, yeah, jam band, scary band, jam band. It's like,
There was another one too. Wasn't there another band that was supposed to be scary or something? It was Swerve, Snosberry.
Michael Wilbur was there as well.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Snosberries.
Moon.
was a great
maybe
show.
it was just you guys. Maybe it was just
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys.
But that was such an anomaly because we'd never collide with that scene
Yeah.
ever. And Josh Clark, the bass player and one of the singers of the Snosberries, he's a great friend of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've played together before and like shared the stage with different bands and things. But he really is the reason it
Yeah.
happened. You know, he put us on to that bill because a lot of people. I'm talking to him before the show. I'm like, you're probably not gonna like us. Actually, I can just
We're gonna
tell.
scare you.
Like, there's gonna be like 25 people in here who like, yeah, and then the other 150 of you are gonna be like, all right, I guess.
They
and-
might think about it when they go home.
yeah, it's gonna confuse your.
I feel like I was on the edge of my seat. Like I was standing up, but like I was on
Yeah.
the idea of the edge of my seat.
I caught a SpongeBob.
Yes.
Took him home.
He played with it for a while.
Oh, that was right.
Yeah.
He's the one.
He's the one.
Wow.
That's so
Good boy.
So-
we hate SpongeBob.
Yeah, where does that all come from?
See,
Yeah, go
all
for
right,
it.
all right. So I guess the SpongeBob thing, like we put out Metallica, and that's kind of big ball or big snowball.
That was the name of an album, right?
Yeah, our second
Second
album is
record,
called Metallica.
And it's kind of like, where do we go from Metallica? What do we
Did you get any kind of like cease and desist?
No, we
Okay.
totally hoped and we're sure that was going to
That's
happen.
literally
If
our-
any
our-
band
our-
was going to sue us, it would be Metallica. So it's like, that's the one that we did, and they didn't. It'd be like,
Okay.
it's an accomplishment, But, so we put out Metallica, and it's like, how do we top this? And it's like, Metallica is pretty stupid naming your album Metallica. But, like, what would no one ever want to name their album?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I chime in? Like we have we envision a big red button that you're not allowed to press and just smashing it. It's like, what did that button do? That's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
The thing that you're just like, well, you can't do that, obviously. No, that's what we're doing.
We did it.
Like if you gives you that absurdist like response of like, okay, well that's obviously off the table. We can't do. Give me a real idea. It's like, nah, dude, I just did. We're calling it SpongeBob, and then so we toured with this band Floral, who is another math rock band who I'd really recommend looking up. They're legends.
One of our favorite bands.
Yeah,
One
great
of my
friends of
favorite
ours as well. And it was right before we put out the SpongeBob album. We just had a little SpongeBob at the
We're
show,
going to have it at the merch booth.
and we didn't hate
Yeah.
SpongeBob yet. We were just
Still
like,
neutral on SpongeBob.
we were just like, we just
the
had
album
a
was
little
gonna come out
SpongeBob.
as SpongeBob. We didn't hate him yet.
But this is the origin of the SpongeBob hate. It started with Nate Sherman of Floral, who, when I had him, the SpongeBob, he would just walk by and have these little microaggressions at him. He was just,
And at first we wanted to defend SpongeBob. We were like, no, he's ours. Like, then we were like, wait a second. Fuck this bitch.
fuck him up, kill him, let's get him. And it's just like,
And slowly that kind of escalated to throwing SpongeBob around at different shows. And then in Tallahassee, we played a show in a record store. And someone started flailing SpongeBob over their head by his leg. And eventually the leg rips off. And the stuffing starts flailing around, flying around. And it felt like it was snowing. Like I didn't really know what was
was it?
happening.
this was, see, we used to get the expensive
Okay.
SpongeBobs from Target, which were $23 a pop. Now we get the cheap SpongeBobs
From Five Below.
Because we can't afford to keep doing
We were
it.
actually just at Five Below and we couldn't get
They
them.
ain't got SpongeBob's at the Asheville Five Below. I was so
They had a section
heartbroken.
where they're supposed to be, but they're out.
yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Nate.
But the idea of I think I'm answering a question you asked earlier of why SpongeBob, why Metallica, or what we're Cloutchaser, right? We're
Yeah.
thinking of the biggest thing with the most clout and then we want to be the next thing you think of. You know what I
okay.
mean? We want to seem giant, even though we're two idiots from North. Not to call you an idiot. Well, I'm an
We're
idiot.
both
You know?
idiots. Oh yeah.
We're
Oh,
genius idiots. You know.
You guys are like, it works. Like your social medias are like killer. I feel like every time you make a post, there's like a bunch of likes, or like I'll see it from not you guys, like someone else will share it and it'll pop up
Yeah.
on my page or
Oh,
something.
that's awesome.
Yeah. That feels
So like
good
you
to
guys
hear.
are doing something right.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing this for 6 years now, and the first couple of years, I really grinded hard. I would go follow everyone. I would follow because they used to not put a cap on things like they do now. So I've found fans directly. Like we have 13,000 followers on TikTok or something, like 14K on Instagram, and a lot of those are people who like commented on math rock stuff.
Yeah.
And I went and I used to go crazy. I would wake up at 7 a.m. and like follow people.
We
and
call it
just find
caveman style.
which I like
And people want that. Like if they like your music and you interact with them, they're gonna be more drawn to you for
yeah,
sure.
totally.
Yeah.
And people feel connected. Like, whoa, these guys follow me on TikTok.
Yeah.
They're my buddies. You know, it's like
I try to comment back to like every person that comments on like YouTube or Spotify or Instagram posts. Like always try to say something back to them.
totally, yeah. Because
Sticking your head out.
yeah,
Yeah.
we don't take it lightly that anyone cares what we're
Yeah,
doing, 'cause
exactly.
we never even expected that. Like, we recorded the whole first album before we ever played a show. It was during COVID. We didn't know if people would like mosh or if we would fit in with metal bands or math rock bands or like what. We didn't even know what we were for a long time
only
or
people
how
that-
it would be received. So there was this big like throbbing thing that we couldn't wait to like.
The only people that heard our music for the first like year were these karate kids in this like dojo.
We used to practice under a karate studio in Boone, North Carolina, because we went to Appalachian State.
Okay.
And that's where we met, and I was there for like 7 years, and he was
I was
there,
there for like 8.
yeah, for a while.
Sick.
Yeah,
Your style of guitar. Do you know who Alan Gogol is by chance?
Alan Gogol.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
So like I got really into his style of guitar playing, and he plays like I think it's called like bell harmonics guitar, but he does the same thing as you, like plays this and this here. And I got like really into him, and then like it was right around the time we saw you guys, and I was like, yo, he's doing the same thing but totally different style. So how'd you learn to like play guitar that way?
So, bell
And I guess
harmonics-
actually the first would be for the people who haven't seen you, like kind of describe what's unique about your guitar playing.
I guess what you're talking about is probably just the finger tapping and the overall like speed, like alien-esque
Yeah.
sounding stuff. And I guess where like my shit comes from, if we really get down to it, growing up, I'm like a Van Halen, Randy Rhoads, Dimebag Darrell man. And so that's where my finger tapping stuff comes from. It's like metal and playing Hot for Teacher, playing Eruption, Spanish Fly. And then whenever I found like emo music, Midwest emo music, and I found those textures of the major tunings, open major tunings, and the pretty sounds, I wanted to have that like flashy, shreddy sound of Van Halen, but in that same like
that emo
tone,
math rock
emo
texture, but with
And-
Van Halen vocabulary. Yeah,
and people do it like, but not like super cracked out, intense. And I think my guitar playing's cracked out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Kind of still.
And I would say his style has evolved in becoming this band because, like, the first album we were kind of figuring out what we were, and Cameron's style, he would play with a pick more often and wouldn't finger tap as much. And as we've grown and as we've toured with math rock bands like Invalids, Floral, we've gotten up close and personal with the innovators of this style and seen it, and it just, you can't not be influenced by like just hanging around with the genius for 2 weeks who innovated and inspired somebody. It's like, wait, what are you doing there?
You
You
hear
know?
these sounds that they're making, and you're like, how is one guitar sounding like fucking 10 just going at once? And yeah, specifically Invalids, I think really made me want to put my guitar in a pretty tuning and play as fast as I can. And yeah.
So is your guys' like understanding of music theory's got to be like really good then, I would assume, right? Like with the open tunings and everything, like
The open tuning stuff,
to me that sounds like
it's
really hard.
Yeah, it sounds really hard. In a lot of ways, it helps me to like not think about music theory stuff in terms of, like in a weird open tuning that I don't really know all the notes. I'm just thinking about sounds and shapes on the fretboard. I'm not thinking about what mode is this, or like, is this gonna match this chord? Like,
Yeah.
And so, yeah, playing in the open tunings is complicated, I guess, but it's like, you can kind of just let it rip.
I'd say, yeah, like an open tuning is very limiting in a way, but within those limits, you can stretch a lot further
There's like a whole
than you
universe.
could had you been in standard tuning, where standard tuning probably does require more music theory thinking.
Okay.
Whereas an open tuning is just like a playground. You just kind of get to
Playground.
do stuff on, and it just all sounds.
A lot of trial and error.
It just feels, it's just kind of easier almost. So that's why you can play faster, crazier stuff on, because you don't have to think as much. You know, because I'm a guitarist too, and I've played, you know, similar stuff. You know, I'm not on Cameron's level, but like,
No, he's a ripping guitar player.
but like, yeah.
You guys got to have a show where you switch.
Yeah.
You play drums, you do guitar.
Cameron's a drummer too. Yeah.
Is the music, like, would you say most of it is pretty structured, or is it like pretty improv when you're on stage?
Sections that are specifically like, all right, we're going off the rails. And so it's kind of like controlled spots. And I guess he's a little bit more free than me. Like, I'm kind of, like, my shit's a little bit more, I'm playing these riffs. This is what's going to go down. And he's on top going.
It's like he's like the rails, and I'm like snowboarding behind a train on the like doing tricks and stuff. You know what I mean? It's kind of like he lays it, because the reason it's like a song is because of what he's playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, so I contextualize the song with my playing, right? It's like, if it was just me, it's just like noise, you know?
Yeah, this might be a dumb question. Like, are either of you guys like keeping beat at all?
Yeah.
Like, who's more like, if you're kind of doing all the tricks, like, whose kind of job is it to hold the rhythm?
Like, I'm holding it down in some ways. Like, I'm playing these riffs, and he's on the surfboard behind me, but it's a constant, like, all right, if I hear him do this trick, I can kind of scoot over this way.
Yeah.
And then if he hears me do something, he can kind of scoot over this way, and we can sync up. And that kind of, so it is like,
I call it like impact points. There are certain moments where we line up, and then we kind of, I say like, well, I'll see you on the other side kind of thing, right? It's like, we kind of have our path that we take, and we know when it's going to line back up, and we don't necessarily play the same amount of notes or the same tempo or whatever, but we have those moments that are important.
Yeah.
And the in between is like flexible.
And this band we keep on mentioning, Hella.
Yeah.
They do that a lot. Yeah.
How many people are in that band? Two.
Yeah.
So would you guys ever consider adding another person or instrument, or do you think that would just complicate things?
I think it's built into the identity of what we are, that we're
Okay.
a two-piece.
It's settled.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that from the very beginning, it was there was never a thought of adding anyone else, because we love Hella. We loved it. Lightning Bolt is another example of a great two-piece. Floral is another one. It's kind of a math rock archetype. Like there are 3 pieces and 4 pieces, but
And at this point, it's like, if we played with somebody else, like a third person, it wouldn't be Cloutchaser.
Cloutchasers.
yeah. And we have like had bass player friends just like write a part to one of our songs. We have 0 rehearsals, and they just come up on stage during the show and just play a song or 2 with us. You know, we've done that, but that's
cool
kind of
and
like a
fun.
gag. That's not like really what we're trying to say artistically, I guess. Because in the same way that like a conversation between 2 people is more intimate and like straightforward, and it's like you listen and then you respond. Whereas if you're talking to 3 people, you have to make a little more room and kind of spread yourself a little more thin and make more space, and we're
more complicated.
Yeah, we're very maximalists and like overstimulating, you know. So like if it's just 2 people doing that, but if you had a third one, it would just be too much. You know, it's like hard to triangulate all. It's like that's the point where I think it's overwhelming.
What when you guys aren't making music, playing shows, are you guys spending a lot of time together still?
Well, we both teach at the same place.
Yeah.
Okay.
Music, and so we see each other regularly, like outside of.
So what are you guys doing when you're not playing music?
Well, we were talking about this earlier.
Yeah,
we don't have friends and we don't have hobbies. That's not true. We both have our.
I play
our
like
hobbies.
video games sometimes.
Okay.
You know, we got a PS5.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. I've been drawing. I run.
Nice.
Been working on Spanish.
Cool.
Hola.
But like,
Muy
yeah,
bien.
Orale.
you know, I'm in this band Squid Pisser now, which they're based out of LA, and like we're touring a couple months out of the year.
Okay.
Also, I play with Daniel Combs in a duo called Zones. I play with my fiance. She's an R&B singer, you know. So I teach drum lessons throughout
So you're
the
in
week.
a lot of different projects.
So I'm like, my world is like drums, music every day,
Mm-hmm.
all the time. I'm transcribing songs before breakfast for one band, and then teaching all day, and then having a rehearsal with a different thing that night or something. You
Yeah.
know, it's like, it's kind of like just consumes my time. And I mean, you know, and then I like to just unplug from that and have like negative space to just like walk the dog and
Mm-hmm.
just chill and unplug and play video games or something,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, music touring is so social, and like you're meeting hundreds of people through in a week or something. It's like purging this like social thing.
Yeah, it's like a very like hot, cold kind
Yeah.
of candy.
So you're
It's like performing for people and then driving all day and then performing for people, or like stopping to do something like this.
yeah, or like stopping something like this, talking to fans, just encountering people in different cultures of like, I mean, Asheville and Warner Robins and Nashville and Detroit and Chicago are all totally
Vastly
different
different
vibe. The
cities,
people
yeah.
there, the energy, the way people drive, the way everything is just changing every day.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you go from that, and then it just spits you out, and you're back home, and you're like, all right, I want it to be quiet.
Yeah.
I want to be alone.
Yeah.
Like, so it is kind of hard to
Yeah.
calm down and like have a
bet.
routine like of just being normal. Like, I've kind of given up on that completely.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Is there like a type of music that you guys are listening to or trying to learn from that might surprise people?
I feel like any stuff that we're working on is gonna bleed through what we're doing. Like I've been working on my flamenco guitar stuff.
I want to
and
show you this
my-
Alan
my
Gogol
pinky
guy.
has been coming out in our riffs recently because of my
Yeah, he's doing
flamenco
some pinky
stuff.
stuff.
And it's like, yeah, anything you're listening to comes out and you're playing, and
Yeah, I've been really big into like electronic music lately, like IDM, like Square Pusher, Aphex Twin, like
Okay.
Venetian snares, Autechre. I've been really into like, I like trying to make people dance too. Like I'm into like, you know, I can fit into the scene you guys are used to in a different setting, just not like with what we do specifically.
Yeah.
Like a lot of my other music, like I'm like, can I make people dance for like an hour straight? Can I play beats that just keep people going? You know, like, so in the way that Cloutchaser is completely not a straight line, I also really like to go in a straight line and just play just something really dancey. And it's like, I'm really dancey lately. That's kind of been my style
Yeah.
lately, I guess.
So this is the guy that I was telling you about. See if we can kind of get to where he's.
oh yeah, he's got the
Yeah.
artificial harmonics, and he's totally got the alternate tuning stuff. But the harmonics with the alternate tunings, really crazy.
Yeah, I saw that, and then like I saw you play, and I was like, it's like kind of the same, but totally different at the same time.
Yeah.
No, there's a lot of overlap.
Definitely so.
Yeah, and I was like, I wonder if he's ever seen, because I had never seen anyone play guitar like that guy, and then I saw you, like that was within like.
within the same like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I was like, he has to know that guy. I didn't know there was like this whole thing. Of
No, I'll
this.
take that.
It's like that sometimes. You like discover a guy that's like doing. It's like, dude, there's a guy that does like your thing. You
Yeah.
not know about this, and I have no idea. And I'm like, oh, it's cool.
I like stumbled upon him on YouTube too, and I was like, oh, his videos don't have that many views. He might not be that famous. And like I look him up in like 2021, he won like Acoustic Player of the Year for like the
Yeah.
whole country or the whole world.
You're like, okay, people know about it. But it just goes to show you about like what people's values are. It's like to that guitar voting community, he's the GOAT. But like to your average person at the
Yeah.
gas
Yeah,
station or
haven't
whatever,
heard.
he's just some fucker. You
Or
know, they
even
don't know.
Another guitar player that doesn't really pay
Yeah.
attention to like acoustic stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's funny, like when you look into like how niche something can be. Like you talking about you having 14,000 people on Instagram. That's a lot of people. But then when like you really think about it, it's like that's like nobody.
That ain't
Like,
nobody.
but to
Yeah.
us, like it feels like everybody to you guys. And like same with we have what like 5,000 on Instagram, and I'm like dude, 5,000 people, that's so many people. Which it is, but like, it isn't at the same time.
The cat's out of the bag now. We all have perspective over the whole world and all these people.
Yeah.
And I don't know, social media is becoming more and more pay to play too. It's just like the algorithms keep changing. Like we used to get way more engagement, and we kind of got pushed down in the algorithmic
We used to be cool.
hierarchy.
It happens for me like ebb and flow. Like
Dude,
one week every post will do like 50,000, and like the next week it's like lucky if I get 10,000 or something.
We have a theory that all the sponge hate might be burying us in an
because
algorithm. We're like spreading hate speech or something. Like I don't know.
SpongeBob's a little bit.
Yeah.
I do have so no song or no words on your songs, but some of the names are pretty unique. So I'm gonna go through a few names here, and I want to know where the name for that one came from. Good Dad, Bad Dad.
Dude. Okay.
You want me? Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it comes down to, there's two of us, and like one of us has a good relationship with our father, and one of us doesn't.
I love my dad, and
his dad's a great guy. My dad's cool. We just don't get along, Yeah.
Alrighty.
But no shade to my dad,
Good Dad, Bad
I was
Dad.
also like 24 and like angstier at the
Yeah.
time. I'm
Yeah,
30
it was a
now,
different
so
time.
like
72 Virgin Dolphins.
Yeah, that's
I guess
kind
that's
of like
yeah.
it's kind of on you.
Yeah, so the end of that song, it goes,
kinda gotta-
and we always
We
thought
would
that
call
sounded
that the
like,
dolphin part, and we called it the dolphin song for a while.
yeah, we
Okay.
thought,
We were
we
jamming
thought
at
it
the
was,
karate spot. Yeah.
and I was like, that's the dolphin song, it's the dolphin part, right? And then I was like, so it's kind of random, and it does make sense, and it also doesn't. And I like the imagery of thinking of 72 dolphins like on a wave or something. Like that's kind of
Virgin
cool.
Dolphins.
Yeah, virgin dolphins, right? So the number 72, when it comes to mind, there's two things that I thought of. It's seven. Okay, so the 1972 Miami Dolphins are the only undefeated team in NFL history.
Yep.
Right. So you got the 72 Dolphins, and then in like certain cultures, you get like 72 virgins or whatever in heaven, and so 72 virgins, dolphin song, 72 virgin dolphins. Let's do that, and then it just like stuck.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that
I
is
like that there's
the
a
whole
reason for him. And you're just like, that was just something funny we said.
Yeah. So it's kind of complicated and doesn't make sense, but it's art. It doesn't have to make sense.
This sounds like it could be like someone's first AIM username. Thunderkiss69.
Yeah, you got that
one. In the last part of that song, it kind of has this specific like rhythm that's similar to the White Zombie song Thunderkiss 65.
Are you familiar with this with White Zombie? Rob Zombie's band from the night.
Before Rob Zombie?
Yeah.
They got the rhythm.
She loves Rob Zombie.
But yeah, so that like rhythm pattern is kind of that rhythm pattern is kind of similar to this pattern that we were doing at the end of that song, Thunderkiss 69.
Okay.
We were like, all right, fucking, this is the Thunderkiss 65 song. Let's make it 69. Bam.
Yeah, we always just try and make it funny, but also kind of show who we are and like where we come from, but not directly, it's not like this is about my girlfriend. It's like more abstract.
Yeah, they have a reason, but the reason doesn't really make sense.
Yeah. It's like our whole thing is just a weird inside joke that no one gets. It's like, but we like the idea of making people ask questions. It's like, why do you guys do that or this? Like, it just starts conversation too, to do something weird.
So when the inevitable cease and desist comes from SpongeBob, what's the next bit going to be? We had Metallica, SpongeBob. What's going to be the next bit?
Actually, well, we're kind of scheming up our next release.
A sequel to
sequel.
SpongeBob.
And the title is going to be SquarePants.
Yeah, so we're just doubling down. We're not.
Okay.
And there's kind of this idea that we're like washed up and like don't have any more ideas, and we're like kind of pathetic now. So we're like, let's just double down on the last one, do it more. We're not done with SpongeBob yet. Like, That's kind of like,
so
you thought we were done?
You
Like,
can't kill us
fuck that
now.
little bitch. We're just getting started.
I'm not dead
Yeah,
yet.
exactly.
Did you guys like SpongeBob when you were
No,
kids?
we love
Yeah,
Okay.
actually.
And that was always
You can't
one of,
say that, dude. You cannot say
I know,
that.
they can't know. You gotta delete the clip, yeah.
Delete all the shit.
They can't know. Okay, I like the first 3 seasons and the movie, and then the next however many seasons are awful in my opinion.
The first 2 seasons and the movie are killer. We have a song called Chum Bucket from our album Metallica.
I saw that one.
kind of a
I was like, I know
predecessor.
why they
It
chose
was
that
a
one.
predecessor to that, but I actually have a car. It's like really old, a '91 Honda CRX.
Nice.
It's basically a red metal bucket. Like there's no carpet in it because it leaks water so bad and it got so moldy and stuff. But still, that car is basically the Chum Bucket. And so, yeah, the little inside jokes and SpongeBob
So
shit.
whenever we've played in cover bands like Southern rock cover bands like Beatles and Fleetwood Mac and whatever. We played a lot of music together that
Yeah.
isn't Cloutchaser. And sometimes if we were like learning a cover song and like
Yeah.
maybe Cameron didn't do all his homework
Yeah,
for
I
a
go
certain
to play-
lick or something.
I go to play the Fleetwood Mac, and I hit, and it sounds like SpongeBob going.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where
That's the
that-
true
Yeah.
deepest origin of the SpongeBob entering our lexicon. We would call when Cameron would play a funny note, we'd call it a SpongeBob note.
SpongeBob
Like,
shit.
I'd be
That's
like,
hilarious.
yeah, if you
God,
play some
that was
SpongeBob
some
shit in that
SpongeBob
Fleetwood
shit
Mac.
tonight.
Yeah. So for some reason we've associated like playing guitar in a funny way with SpongeBob, and it's just we also just like to like say who we are, and like
Yeah.
and we didn't grow up together. We're not the same age. I'm 3 years older than him. Grew up in a different town. So it's not like we have a ton of shared experiences together. But in our childhood, there's a lot of overlap. Like both of our favorite band was AC/DC. We both loved Metallica. We both loved SpongeBob.
Yeah.
And there's just certain things that, like at the end of the day, when you form a relationship with a person, you have to relate on something. So all the stuff we relate on is like what we are.
Yeah.
We're like, we were raised on Metallica. We were raised on SpongeBob. Like this is,
It's
these
us.
are, and when we need to like understand each other, we can use a SpongeBob reference. It's like when SpongeBob, did this or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
it's just a
Whenever
way.
Lars did this.
Yeah, when Lars did this and some kind of monster. Yeah, we just said that at the same time. That
It
proves
is.
my point. You get what I'm saying?
Exactly. Fuck yeah. Well, guys, before we wrap up, is there anything that you guys want to plug besides fuck SpongeBob?
I don't know when this comes out. But
Monday.
We're currently on tour right now. Okay, that'll be we're driving home that day.
Driving home.
But be on the lookout for SquarePants
Yeah.
sometime 2027.
Okay.
We're
Do you guys have like a YouTube where you put your shows or anything? Like, can people ever find any shows online?
It's just on Instagram.
Instagram?
That's the best
Okay.
place to keep track of.
And
Facebook too. Yeah.
Facebook too.
Yeah.
But Instagram is probably the best bet to keep up with like when we're doing stuff. We try and post as much as we can, but the old algorithm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Check this.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming. I'm glad we finally got to work it out. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for having us.
Going on.
Another one.
Alrighty, guys. We're here today with Brando, CEO of CashorTrade. How you doing?
Great, man.
Good to hear. Exciting week for you guys, huh?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. I guess for the people who aren't familiar with what you guys partnered with Ticketmaster for this week, can you kind of just update everybody, let people know?
Yeah, absolutely. This has been a long time coming, and it's something we're really excited about. It's been 17 years of running CashorTrade, and as we've grown, the face value movement that we started and the platform, it has finally caught the attention of the industry.
Mm-hmm.
When we started this, nobody believed it would work. What's that? How's that going to work? But now, the face value movement is at the forefront of ticketing today.
Yeah.
And it's in the news, and we work with legislation that's in multiple states, and there's bills in the House and in the Senate, and it's just like never before artists are making statements and speaking up about what they want to see in their ticketing practices and participating in it themselves a lot more than they ever have. So that's sort of like the backlog of it. And as we've been growing CashorTrade, the secondary market is difficult because the lack of inventory.
Mm-hmm.
On-sale goes on the primary market. They sell 20,000 tickets to a venue in like a couple minutes. 20,000 people get to be happy. The others don't. There's limited inventory, right? But now on the secondary, there's a fraction of that, right? A fraction. And you have thousands and thousands of people looking for like the very best seats. And those people are flooding to the platforms like CashorTrade when we send out alerts notifying people, and people come flooding back trying to purchase that very same ticket, and it gets frustrating. In the end of the day, we want to get more tickets, and we want to get more people in those seats, and we want to fill those rooms. And long story short, where I'm going with this is that because the industry has taken notice that, wow, a resale platform exists that's non-predatory, that's not gouging our fans, that's not brokers stealing our tickets when they're in their basement and pulling all the money out of the ecosystem. Instead, there's a resale platform that we could point our fans to where when they can't go, they can have a safe place to sell their tickets at for what they paid. And in turn, the artist event or venue can fill that empty seat and give that fan a place. The industry's like, yeah, F the predatory secondary market, these brokers, these scalpers. All they're doing is extracting everything that's good that we work so hard for and put so much effort into. And frankly, the promoters put a lot of money up for these events, and the brokers are just scraping all that off the top.
Yeah.
So it's a moment in time where these events are actually recognizing that, wow, it's really valuable to partner directly with a resale platform, and especially one that is face value only. So we've been building on those partnerships. You might have seen we've partnered with a number of artists, Fish, Billy Strings, Tyler Childers, Sylvanesso, the list goes on. And venues as well, and festivals as well. So that's the growth model, is how can we get more tickets? And if you align with the actual events, we're able to work together so they could drive users to CashorTrade when they can't go and need a place to sell. They even can use CashorTrade as a way to move inventory or do like exclusive ticket drops, which we've done for a number of artists, where we can sell like small allotments of holds to like hook up our gold members with extra seats, extra tickets. So that's a way that we see that could take the face value movement to the next level. So we have more tickets to sell for people.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you do that? Well, when you ask them or to partner, they say, are you integrated with our primary ticket company? They want to know that the transaction is going to run through their platform.
Who is they when you say that? When you say they want to know if you're integrated, who's they?
The event or the partner. So if it's a promoter, an artist, or a festival, they want to know that ticket transactions are not going to happen on some third-party site where somebody gets scammed. They're going to be marked up or gouged. That the user's going to show up at the box office with a ticket that doesn't work. That the user's going to show up being pissed that they paid too much. They want a smooth running event. So they get very weary about making partnerships with platforms that aren't directly integrated into their primary ticket solution.
Okay.
So what we've learned over the years, this has been a dream we've been talking about for a very long time, is to advance our technology to partner directly with primary ticket companies. And other ticket companies have done this in the past, and we've been jealous of it. And a year ago, we launched our new platform. And, it was 17 years old or 16 years old, and it couldn't handle all the users that we had today. But when we rebuilt it, we knew we wanted API technology so it could advance and work directly with these primary ticket companies at scale. Did I know that Ticketmaster would be the first primary ticket company that we integrated with? Absolutely not. I couldn't have planned it, especially after years of talking and communication and even building the tech. But that's the way it came out. And because like 80% of our tickets are Ticketmaster tickets, it's really exciting to be able to process transactions directly through the primary. And um, and now I can be a little bit more descriptive on what that actually means. When someone comes to CashorTrade, we have one goal. The tickets need to be face value. That's how we started this thing. That's been the battle. How do you do that? Well, we looked at social media platforms and we were like, oh, social media platforms, they're member policed. They have reporting tools and flagging tools on comments. We were like, we should do that. So for years, we were the only ticket platform that had reporting tools where you could report a post and flag it. So if it was against policy or above face value, then you can do that. You can't do that on any other ticket site. But as we grew, it worked great for like a decade, maybe a decade and a half.
Yeah.
But as we've grown, it's become a huge friction point. Tickets go up, everybody rushes because they get alerts. They flag
a bunch
the
of bots
post.
buying them.
Not exactly, but they get suspended because everybody gets their alert and they go to it and they see it and they say that's above face and they flag it. It automatically gets suspended. Our support team has to reach out to the seller, communicate with them to get a verification receipt. I hope it's not some sketchy doctored receipt. Try to get some trust out of the person in order to put the ticket back up. Meanwhile, everyone who's getting their alerts are still coming to it and it shows that the post is suspended.
Gotcha. You're talking about on CashorTrade, not when the tickets drop through like a Ticketmaster AXS or something.
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
just on CashorTrade where we had the flagging feature.
Okay.
That was one way that we policed above face value tickets.
And from my experience, it seems I've always had good experiences on CashorTrade. You forget to buy a ticket, you can't buy a ticket, you get one last minute before you get in the door. They transfer it easy enough. You buy an extra ticket for someone, they can't make it, you can sell it, make your money real quick. So I've always had good experiences with with CashorTrade, and I think as part of this whole acquisition that's kind of alarming to everyone is you hear so much about Ticketmaster, whether it be the litigation that's going on or the quote of the CEO or whoever it was saying we're robbing them blindly. And it's this CashorTrade is this trusted ticketing website, like you said, that has a trust system with holding people accountable. And now people see you join Ticketmaster and there's like, oh, wait, hold on, why is that happening? So that's kind of, I think, what a lot of people are probably weary about is like, what does this mean for Cash or Trade now going forward? Does Ticketmaster have any influence over anything?
So you said something in there that's a bit triggering, and I think that's what's happening on social media.
Mm-hmm.
You said acquisition. CashorTrade has not been purchased by Ticketmaster
Okay.
at all. And I, sorry if I kind of went off on the rails there, but what I was trying to get to is what the partnership or integration is and how it works technically is that somebody visits CashorTrade, they put their barcode in and they hit the button. And it's like refreshing a browser.
Mm-hmm.
It sends the data up to Ticketmaster, and Ticketmaster sends data back to us so we can get the face value price and
Okay.
make sure that the ticket is not listed above face value in our
Okay.
platform. The next thing it does is that when the seller chooses a buyer and charges the buyer's card, we ping their API again, and it transfers the ticket right to the buyer's CashorTrade account and literally renders the Ticketmaster ticket right in the CashorTrade app.
Okay.
So for us, it's two benefit, and for the fans, it's the same benefit as that it keeps the tickets 100% at face value, no questions asked, no sketchy receipt uploads, no flagging tools that I just described, reduces all of that friction and makes sure it can't be listed above face.
Okay.
We do allow people to list below, like we always have.
Mm-hmm.
And then it allows to transfer those tickets right there in the app and make it really seamless. That's what we're doing with Ticketmaster. And
Okay.
that's what we're also doing with every other primary ticket company that we can communicate with. We have 6 other ticket companies that we're working with to do the same thing with, and hopefully even more after that. But that's the goal. There was no acquisition, but it's absolutely a partnership of ethics to keep tickets at face value. And we're honored to work with any ticket company that allows us to participate in that.
Okay. My apologies for using the wrong word there.
Not
So
at
is
all. There's a lot of misinformation swirling around on social media about this, and it's a bit unfortunate, but we hope that people will see the truth as they start to use the platform.
Yeah, and I totally get that. I think the timing of everything is weird because like we said, Ticketmaster's been in the news recently. You always think of Cash or Trade as like, at least for me and like in the scene that I'm in, going to like a lot of Billy String shows, going to Dead and Co, stuff like that. You're always hearing good things about Cash or Trade. People are happy with Cash or Trade. So when you just
Great.
see Cash or Trade and Ticketmaster right now, people are like, "Oh, wait, hold on, that could be bad." So
Absolutely.
is there plans to like I can't think of any other large ticket providers other than like AXS right now. Is there like a plan to partner with them to like have the same integration with platforms like that?
We hope to partner with AXS as well as all the rest.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
So getting that big news out of the way, I do want to know what kind of inspired you to start Cash or Trade and how did it look 17 years ago compared to how it looks now?
Yeah, great question. I mean, Dusty and I were web designers, and we were Fish fans and Grateful Dead fans and live music fans. And like at 2004, Fish stopped playing. And the let's be real, like the internet was just getting rolling.
Hmm.
Like Facebook had really just begun. Um, I remember Howard Stern moved to Sirius XM. There was satellite radio. I remember being in the office building websites and listening to Howard Stern, and he was promoting this website called StubHub. And I didn't think too much of it. He was promoting a, a ticket website again and again and again. Every day we listened to Howard Stern. Well, fast forward 5 years later, when Fish came back and we went to go buy tickets, it sold out immediately, of course, to be expected. But what was different was seeing tickets on websites that were like $2,000, $3,000, $5,000. And we were just like, what changed? Why is this so different? And what we just kind of realized was that during that 5 year hiatus there, that ticketing really shifted from like brick and mortar box offices to absolutely online. And StubHub and the others really took hold during that time. And it became the Wild West of ticketing, where brokers were running bot programs and the ticket companies weren't advanced enough to protect against them. And it just was nuts. And so when we went on tour, we were like, dude, let's just create something for fans. We'll keep it at face value, and we'll go on tour, we'll set up a tent, and we'll rally people around a face value movement. And that's what inspired us to start it. And we literally built it on the road in Starbucks coffee shops on tour that summer. I mean, we built the first iteration of it, but then
Yeah.
on tour, people would give us ideas, and we'd go to the coffee shop and build out the idea and launch it before we like went to the next show. And we just iterated on it all summer, and it was an exciting time. And it was free for over a decade. It was just a hobby,
Yeah.
you know. But we were spending all our time on it and not our time servicing our clients at web design. And eventually it was like we weren't making like any money. And it was like, all right, let's get rid of web design. So we sold that company and then stayed. I was like, I think I can maybe make this happen and just try to focus on CashorTrade and see if we can make something out of this, you know. And one of the things was we are just like, well, if we're gonna be like a real ticket platform, like people want to be protected, and like if we're gonna do any level of competing against the apps that are out there, like we have to process payments and run an escrow banking service and provide insurance, run not only take money in, but run payouts, like a whole thing.
Yeah.
So we did it. And then it was COVID.
So it's kind of just like start back over again.
We had to build out a refund program to refund at scale. And we refunded every single ticket. It was nuts. Somehow we got through it, keeping everybody employed and all. And then on the back side of it, it was outside of COVID that things really picked up.
Mhm.
And CashorTrade like I don't know, double, tripled in size. And we were like, we need a new app. But I didn't have any money to like hire anyone. It's just a few of us. And so it was hard. I had to like bring one person on to like chip away at like the UX or something first, and then another another developer. So it's like one by one, took us years, but finally we got to the point where we could launch a new platform and have something we could scale with. And that brings us to today. And it's been a dream to partner with ticket companies so we can move inventory more easily, hopefully have more tickets syndicated through the site, hook fans up for face value.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, Cash or Trade seems to be a staple for like all the shows that I go to, whether it's to sell a ticket or to get one real quickly. So sounds like a lot of hard work behind the scenes, but we appreciate you over here at least.
Uh, Thanks, Clint. It's it's been such a wild ride. I mean, I wouldn't wish ticketing on my worst enemy. It's um I mean, don't get me wrong. Hearing you say that means like far more than what you know. Like it really, really does because it's blood, sweat, and tears, you know?
Hmm.
But it's just ticketing itself, dude, is like, you don't control the supply,
Yeah.
you know? The demand is through the roof for sold out events. Like, every time you have one ticket to sell, oh, you can hook one person up, but hundreds or thousands lose. Like, it's crazy.
Do
I mean,
you
we didn't know this when we were, you know?
as as someone who's like a little more like obviously you're very tapped into like the ticket world. Um and then let's just reference like Fish for example. Fish drops, there's a bunch of people in line for them, and then as soon as they drop, the tickets are gone like that. And people are always saying on like social media, like bots this, bots that. How big of a problem are the bots in those like pre-ticketing lobbies? Like, is that a big problem for tickets, or is it really that many people trying to get tickets?
I think it used to be more of a problem than it is today.
Mm-hmm.
There's whether it's Ticketmaster or other platforms, I think there's a lot of tools in place today. Everything from rate limits and IP checks to credit card holds and restrictions and 3DS verifications and phone even like stuff on your phone. It goes on and on. But um, I do think bots, it's like a game of whack-a-mole, and they will always try to attack the primary ticket companies.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I imagine they score. And brokers just seem to have a lot of tools as well, like a lot of tech tools. You could like, yeah, you could just Google it and find like crazy tools that you can use to help you like thwart primary ticketing platforms. It's nuts. And brokers seem to be, I mean, I guess my only insight is that like, there seems to be a lot of tickets on StubHub that are marked way up above face,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know how those brokers are exactly getting them or what the deal is, but yeah. Now cash or trade is a bit different. We have a lot of those same tools in place, but the seller gets to choose. And that's how we built it way back in the day. We didn't want to be a click and buy platform where a broker or anyone could just come and buy and buy and buy and buy, like click, 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 walk away with all these tickets. So we made it so the seller gets to look over the profile, look at the reviews, maybe even chat with the person, kind of be like, am I selling to a real fan?
Mm-hmm.
And I know some sellers are just like, I just want to get rid of the ticket quick, boom, 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 and they move it right through. And that's fine. But like at the same time, we do want to embody the human experience of ticketing. And but people ask us like, why do I have to like write a message when I try to commit to an offer when I put in my offer? Like, why do I have to write a love letter? I've heard some people
Yeah.
say. And it's just like, well, we're trying to like humanize this experience so it's not like a bot friendly situation.
Yeah.
We do want real people to communicate. And I'll tell you, man, when people are like, I want to take my dad to see Fish with me for the first time, or, my sister's coming in from town and blah, blah, blah. Like, I really want to take her to this show. Like, that stuff matters to people. And they like, they end up replying and communicate, and that's not like this bot interaction,
Hmm.
you know? And people don't get it, but humanizing the experience was a big part of the anti-broker technology.
Okay.
Despite it being a little bit slower ticketing, instead of like, oh, I just want to click, click, bye, bye, give me my ticket, I'm done. It's just like, yeah, but we used to be people in the parking lot, like, cash for your extra
Cash or trade?
ticket, and you had your ticket and you're like, dude, I got a good seat. Like, who am I going to sell this to? And you would see brokers
Yeah.
it's out there. Are you running up to the broker to sell your ticket to him? No, you're finding like that guy who looks like he's been trying all tour to get inside, you know?
Yeah.
So
Does when you like get on Cash or Trade, you see like Goose and Billy Strings and Fish, like those are kind of the like first things you see when you open the app. Is Cash or Trade like supporting concerts like I don't know, say like a Drake concert or like a Sabrina Carpenter, like these people in these like huge arenas? Is Cash or Trade like servicing those people as well?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not at the same scale,
Hmm.
but launching the new app really helped us create a UI that was a little bit more digestible by the average person. So the old site was very, it's cool and social, and we didn't want to lose some of the socialness, but just something about the flow of the new app, all of a sudden, like Beyonce tickets,
Okay.
Millennium tickets, Harry Styles tickets, like Sabrina Carpenter, like, um, uh, yeah, like the face value movement is about supplying face value tickets to everybody and not just, frankly, someday we would love to do like theater and comedy and
Hmm.
sports. I
Yeah.
mean, we do have sports on there. It's just like we haven't like marketed it in the search at all. Um, but yeah,
Nice. And, I don't want to harp on this or anything, but I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. When this news came out, I don't know, Monday or Tuesday, in my group chats and like on social media, people are looking at this and they're like, what is Ticketmaster going to do to like monetize this or make this some kind of transactional benefit for Ticketmaster? Can you kind of just let those worries like give something to the people that are curious like that's not going to happen? Just kind of explain that to us how things are going to stay the same with Cash or Trade.
yeah. I mean, right now, we're pretty honored about this, that there is no fee to work this API transaction. But in general, partnerships like in the business model, like there's a cost to doing business.
Yeah.
As we work with whoever, whether it's our credit card processing or whether it's some of those IP tracking tools or whether it's working with a specific venue, like in the industry, this is a business. Music is a business, and in order to work in moving those tickets around, sometimes there need to be some sharing of revenue. Um, I hope, obviously, we want everything to be free, but the realistic side of it is that there is a cost to doing business, and there's servers running, then there's developers and people managing those servers, and there's an industry of people being employed to provide services. Um, but no, like right now, we have an interesting thing set up, and we'll see how it goes with the other ticket companies that we partner with. But our goal is to always keep tickets and prices as low as possible. I mean, hell, like we're the only company, I mean, who doesn't charge the seller. Um, we haven't the buyer's 10%. I mean, that's like the lowest fee of like any ticket company like ever. We've added things that are super fan friendly, like we pay out before the event. Like I don't think I know. I mean, there might be one or two ticket companies that maybe pays out before the event, but most don't. Um, it's a liability, of course. If the event gets canceled or something, then you gotta like, refund and charge cards and um, but we want to keep. All I'm trying to say. Oh, and then the gold. I was going to say the gold membership. If you are a loyal fan who wants to use CashorTrade like more than once, um, for more than a cup of coffee or a latte a month, you can avoid that platform fee on CashorTrade.
Mhm.
So, for a very um, low payment, you can be a gold member and continue to transact again and again and again as much as you want with no added costs. Um, because we know people are frustrated on fees. But at the same time, man, like there's a cost to running businesses and there's employees
Yeah.
and servers and everything I just mentioned. And it's a face value ticket and yeah, there's a little bit of a platform fee to run it or you're a gold member. So
Awesome. Well, Brando, thanks so much, man. I appreciate you coming on. It sounds like exciting things for CashorTrade coming up. Is there anything that you want to plug before we wrap up here?
thank you so much for having me. Mostly, and sorry if I kind of came in hot with all the information. It's just that our heads have been spinning with everything at once right now. But mostly just thanks for giving me the opportunity to explain like what it is we're doing. No,
Absolutely.
CashorTrade did not sell. Dusty and I are still running it. We still are up here in Vermont with some music-loving employees doing our best to provide face value tickets for fans. And yes, if we can work with ticket companies, if we can work with artists, festivals, and venues to have more and more tickets for people at face, I mean, dude, that's our goal. That's where our heart is. That's our focus. That's what we're living and dying around. And after 17 years of doing it, I hope that people can feel that they can trust that mission.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Brando.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
You just got jammed.
All right, everybody. Welcome back from those interviews with Cloutchaser and Brando. Where should we begin?
Let's start with, let me do a little album review.
Okay.
I got 3 albums. I gave a little heads up on them last week, but I hadn't finished my digging. I'm going to start with Flea, the bassist from Red Hot Chili Peppers. He has a solo album out, Honora. I will say very interesting record. You can tell he's like a record collector. He gets all this like international music and like
International baby.
he is an international baby. He's very knowledgeable in music, and you can tell that this has a lot of like jazzy, other country, like there's influences from all over in it. And I found it really interesting. It wasn't my cup of tea. It wasn't something that I would go back and listen to, but I found it very like the composition of it was very interesting. And he had said that it was something to kind of highlight more of his trumpet playing because that's something he doesn't really get to show off in the Red Hot Chili Peppers very often. He'll have a couple solos here and there, but it's not really something he gets to play much. But I thought it was interesting. There's a song, A Plea, which kind of starts out as like a spoken word poem talking about like how peace and love are like the hardest things to accomplish in life, but they're the only things that are going to save this world, basically. And it was like a cry for
What the fuck is going on?
like we are in a civil war and no one wants to acknowledge it kind of thing. Like between
The
parties.
elites and
Yeah.
the rest of us.
I thought that one was kind of interesting. And then there's a song called Traffic Light that features the singer of Radiohead. And those were really the only 2 that I took note of. I thought, interesting album. I liked listening through it. I would probably buy it if I saw it in store just to have it.
Yeah. There was a song I feel like you played that I liked, but I didn't know what it was called.
I think that was that one, Traffic Light.
Okay.
With the Radiohead singer. Charlie Crockett album. if you have been a long-time listener, you know that I was a very avid Charlie Crockett fan. He was kind of the first Western Americana musician that I got into.
Before we started dating, yeah, you were really into him.
Yeah, I got a signed vinyl by him. Like, I loved Charlie Crockett. He kind of had a little stint where he wanted to stir up a bit of controversy. I didn't really agree with it because I don't like when people yuck yums. And I feel like that was what he was doing quite a bit. This new album he put out, it's good. It sounds like Charlie Crockett. I think the luster has kind of worn off for me. I like his older stuff where he sounds a bit more New Orleansy, jazzy, kind of busker.
It's kind of like repetitive now.
Now it's just the
Same thing.
It feels very samey, and I still think he is an incredible songwriter. I think all of his songs carry stories, and that always impresses me when you can make music out of just little stories here and there. But it wasn't for me. I'll be honest, not that impressed. I think I would like to see him go back to something like his I forget the name of the albums, but like there's a yellow one with Silver Dagger on it. I really liked his Trinity River. If he just goes back to that a little bit, kind of step out of this Texas cowboy.
That's like the whole thing with being an artist, though. Is like, I guess he's not doing it, but like trying new things. But you're saying that he's kind of just doing the same thing.
I feel like the last 3 or 4 albums, because he was kind of consistently releasing albums.
I feel like he still is.
Yeah, he took a little hiatus. I said that the other day, and I was like, maybe like 6 months. But I feel like the last 3 albums sound very similar. So I liked Jukebox Charlie. I think that's the last one that he had that caught my attention. Then they've all kind of been repetitive. And then the last one. So this one's a fun one. This one's a fun one. Thundercat's new album, Distracted. So I gave this a good listen through. He's one of my other favorite bassists. I don't have much written down, but he has a couple like features on this album. He's got a song with Tame Impala. He's got a song with Lil Yachty. And then this one I really fucking loved. She Knows Too Much with Mac Miller.
Yeah.
I think that Clint and I are both big Mac Miller songs. Clint more so than me, but there's something so like nostalgic and summertime feeling about Mac Miller's
especially the
voice.
way like that song is. Like
it's very like
towards the end, his music got a lot sadder.
Yeah.
But like that was like the funky, like fun Mac Miller, and that's like kind of what this song is.
Yeah, and it was really nice to hear something new from an artist that like everyone seems to really respect.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just love that song. I would recommend everyone go and listen to it if you were kind of in the same.
And it's song of the week this week?
That is my song of the week.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely gonna be my song of the week. I think it's something different to put on the playlist, but I guess that's what it's there for.
Yeah. It's fun to mix it up every now and then.
It is. I love this song. It makes me happy. Clint liked it too, and I sent it to him.
Yeah.
I like when I send someone something and they're impressed by it. But those are basically my album reviews. Let me see. I think there was one more. Oh, the first song on that Distracted album called Candlelight has got a very interesting time signature, which I think goes very well with the Cloutchaser.
With today's episode, yeah.
So if you want to kind of figure out what these boys were talking about with insane time signatures, listen to Cloutchaser and then go to this Candlelight song and you'll hear it there too. People are kind of just fucking around, and I love it.
The big thing for me this week that came out was the Hulaween lineup. If you guys listen to podcasts at all, you probably know we love Hulaween.
Yeah, I agree.
A lot of EDM, which I get it. EDM sells. And there is a lot of good. I mean, Magoo's on here, Stickley's on here, Mountain Grass Unit's on here. There is some really big highlights. For me, like Excision Thursday is a weird one for me. I get the EDM, but that's like a whole new genre of EDM but I guess they had Millennium last year and people seem to like that. My Morning Jacket has been one I wanted to see. So happy with that one. Pretty Lights
They're great. I like them, I guess.
Yeah, but it's like 2 years ago that was a headliner.
Yeah.
So, but I guess people were like, Geese. So we've been on the Geese exploration lately,
Yeah.
and I am excited that they're going to be at a festival because I want to see them, but I didn't want to. I knew I'd never go to one of their big shows now, but catching them at Hulaween, I'm excited for that.
I will say, my opinion, waste of a headline spot.
Really?
Yeah. I think they could be right under String Cheese, but I think we could have probably gotten someone else for that Sunday headline.
Billy Strings, maybe?
Billy Strings alone.
And then, like, even on, like, the sub-headliners, like, Ben Bomer, House, Big Grammatic, I think that's EDM.
Crank That,
Crank That,
Thread,
Levity of the
Trees, and
this Japanese guy. And then there's Unknown Mortal Orchestra and ST. I mean, STS9 even kind of has, like, it's live music, but I feel like there's, like, that EDM influence, I guess, maybe. And then, like, even some of the jam bands, like...
Eggy's back, which hopefully they don't do them as dirty this
Yeah.
time. Don't give them a 3 a.m. spot. I do want to
Lettuce, Lamb, Manus Focus, like I said, Magoo, Stickley, Mountain Grass Unit, Karina Reichman.
Yeah.
Moonstone Riders.
So Moonstone Riders has been pushing their Renegades for
Years, since my first Hulaween.
Yeah, and fucking props to them.
Yeah, well deserved.
They're getting a stage this year.
Yeah.
They have been working for that so hard, and it is sick to see.
I will say though, some of the EDM I am looking forward to. Like Of the Trees, I do like Of the Trees.
I like Levity.
Levity.
Daily Bread we had 2 years ago. That was one I just talked the whole time through, truthfully. I was on the ground, I was in the back, so don't get at me. But
Pretty Lights that'll be fun to see. I'm excited for the Japanese Yosuke Yukamatsu.
Yeah. I heard that Ben Bomer is
Yeah, I've listened
really
to him a little
interesting.
bit. He's cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going with an open mind. I think the Bluegrass is really good. I think Sunday's going to be really good. So, especially with Geese closing, I'm excited for that. The real thing is like...
Oh, Sneezy.
Yeah, Sneezy, Natalie Brooke, the Ain't Sisters. So there still is... I just would have liked to probably see like one more headliner that was jam band.
I agree with that. And again, that's us being sticklers. But Hulaween is going to be good regardless.
Yeah. I could not know anyone. I could not even go into the festival ground and have a good time at Hulaween.
Yeah, I'm not worried that I'm not going to enjoy this.
And 3 nights of string
would have
cheese. Like,
liked.
yeah, it's going to be good regardless.
Yeah.
And we'll be there again, of course.
Absolutely, we'll be there. I'm super excited to see John Stickley Trio there.
Yeah,
I
me
know
too.
They've done it a few times, haven't they? Like,
Yeah. I wonder if he'll stick around and like pick for any of it too.
Yeah, that would definitely be sick.
But
Paper's Choice, the locals' favorite.
yeah. And then we have Sam coming in hot with the red stripes.
Boy with the red stripes.
My song of the week, Jared Walker's Nighthawk song that came out. They played it in Tampa. It's on all streaming platforms. That's a fun song. And then just a little side note. So we saw Sons of Stars Friday after Goose. And there was like a family from like Connecticut there. And they were like, they thought it was like a famous touring band. They were like, who are these guys? They're so good. The guitar player's good. And like, I started talking to them and I was like, just like hyping up Sons of Stars. And they were like, are you their manager or something? And I was like, nah, I just really like these guys.
Love these boys.
But they had Mark Levingood sitting in with them in St. Augustine, which was sick.
So sick. Yeah, I'm so excited for them. They've been killing their tour dates. It was really fun to have them back.
And if you don't follow Sons of Stars, go follow them on Instagram. They have a tour for like the whole Southeast this summer, probably coming somewhere near you. And if you like All Jammed Up, you'll like Sons of Stars.
Amen. I agree.
Anything else? It's a good episode.
I like it.
We did good. We'll be back on Monday with another new episode. You guys have a great week. And remember, wherever you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be.